The Agua Caliente Band of Cahuilla Indians is about to redefine the visitor's experience in Palm Springs. More than 5 years after breaking ground, the long-awaited Cultural Plaza and Museum is less than 24 hours away from its official grand opening.
News Channel 3's Peter Dowd got an exclusive tour of the new plaza and museum. He's live right now from downtown Palm Springs with an in-depth look at what the tribe is calling one of its most important achievements in its history. Peter.
That's right, John and Karen. Right now, the private celebration is underway here at the corner of Tahquitz and Indian Canyon, where just moments ago they held the ribbon cutting. Tomorrow, the public is invited out here. And while most museums only tell stories of the past, the new Agua Caliente Culture Museum intends to do something a lot different. The museum and plaza aim to bring alive thousands of years of tribal history, connecting ancient traditions with a modern existence in the Coachella Valley and to future generations. Step inside the new Agua Caliente Cultural Museum in downtown Palm Springs.
After you.
All right. Oh, wow.
And you're bound to be impressed. The sleek, contemporary design is inspired by tribal traditions, including basket weaving, pottery, and natural elements on the tribe's reservation.
But what is here is the name of almost every single enrolled Agua Caliente member.
Tribal Chairman Reed Milanovich gave me an exclusive tour of the 48,000 square foot state-of-the-art facility, which features a variety of exhibits showcasing cultural artifacts, stories, and history. He says it's been a dream of the tribe for well over 30 years, and that includes how the museum is presented.
Every video, every voice that you're hearing, it's all Agua Caliente tribal members.
Why was that important?
Authenticity. We don't want anyone else telling our story. This is through us.
The museum takes visitors on a non-chronological journey through the world of Agua Caliente. There are 3D maps of the region,
this is my culture,
video stories from tribal members, and even the tribe's first slot machine.
It represents the new gaming aspect that this tribe underwent in the mid-90s.
This exhibit focuses on the natural world of the Agua Caliente and famed Indian canyons.
So you're going to see daylight, you're going to see nighttime, you're going to see thunderstorms. You know, it's something that this area, the weather that we all experience, and listen to the sounds. It's like we're actually in the canyons.
I feel like I'm outside.
Yes.
During the excavation and construction of the museum, archaeologists unearthed a trove of artifacts, including projectile points, grinding stones, and tools. Milanovich says carbon dating of these items suggests humans at the site as far back as 8,000 years ago.
I'm blown away by how interactive this museum is.
It's important because we don't want visitors and guests just to walk through and just read things on the walls. We want them to give a glimpse of what it's like to be a member of the Agua Caliente Band of Cahuilla Indians.
The museum is a major component of the nearly 6-acre Agua Caliente Cultural Plaza, one of the nation's largest Native American cultural centers. Visitors can stroll down the Oasis Trail, a representation of the canyons, where they'll find the tribe's traditional home known as a quiche.
These are made of palm fronds and all natural materials, and the purpose of these is to escape the heat.
The plaza also encompasses sacred hot springs, where waters believed to be 12,000 years old bubble to the surface. The new 40,000 square foot spa at Seji celebrates the ancient healing waters with nearly 24 private baths, as well as outdoor mineral pools. Milanovich says he is deeply proud of the new plaza and museum, which also features his father Richard, who served as tribal chairman for nearly 30 years before passing away nearly a decade ago.
I still walk through here by myself and think about what my dad would think. His want of sharing our tribe's culture to the community, helping them learn who we are as a people. It brings a sense of pride that we did it. We did it. We as a tribe did this.
Yes, they did, and it's incredible. It's worth mentioning that what's on display here at the museum is just a taste of the collection the tribe has stored underground. Tomorrow, the ground opening and the official celebration kicks off from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. right here at the corner of Tahquitz and Indian Canyons. And you can watch my full in-depth interview with Chairman Milanovich by heading to our website, KESQ.com. Reporting live in downtown Palm Springs, Peter Doubt, News Channel 3.